You've probably noticed the new Liberty Mutual, or more precisely, the new Liberty Mutual branding and repositioning campaign. This sociological-driven, values-driven campaign of responsibility, what's your policy, is probably the most talked about campaign in the industry. Steve Sullivan, Senior Vice President of Communications for Liberty Mutual, in this interview discusses how a lot of consumer research and employee research went into this program before it was launched.
There were two important avenues for the research. One was external and one was internal. Externally, we did surveys with thousands of automobile insurance customers throughout America. We also surveyed agents and we surveyed our commercial market customers, risk managers, people like that. And we wanted to find out beyond traditional demographics what it was, if anything, that was common to our customers and the people that we identified as prospects that would allow us to connect with them on more of a values level. And the reason that we were going in that direction is because, as you know, insurance has become this incredibly confusing world of names and claims. And particularly on the consumer side, it's all about price, 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 price. So there's not a lot of differentiation that's going on. We had a hypothesis that we could differentiate based on values that were important to us. We needed to know if they were important enough to consumers of all types to form the basis for our branding effort. So we did the external communications, and in that we found that in spite of what you might think about consumers today, most people identify themselves as more responsible than others, or more responsible than the average.
By quite a margin, right?
By quite a, well, 90% of Americans will say, I feel that I'm more responsible than average. Within that, there is a more targetable core of people who not only identify themselves as responsible, but whose behavior, whose activities back that up. They vote more, they participate in community activities, they participate in not-for-profits, they participate in their schools and communities. So it's this group of people that we call the responsible ones. And by the way, they're responsible ones both in the auto insurance consumer world and in the commercial consumer world. So these people that we identified as responsible ones really held this notion of responsibility as one of their primary core values. Consumers more and more are turning to values to figure out companies that they want to do business and brands that they want to be associated with. In my presentation, I used a quote in Fortune magazine from Jim Stengel, who's a global chief marketing officer for Procter & Gamble, and he said more and more Americans are using values to base their decisions on what product to buy and what company to do business with. So we felt like it was an important, because people wanted it, and that we had a unique story to tell them. And that's where the second part of our research, the employee research came into play, because we wanted to know that if we were claiming something externally, did it fit with customers' experience of us and with how we conducted our business every day. So we interviewed hundreds of employees all across the country, including our CFO, from our CFO all the way to people in call centers. And this notion of take responsibility for what you do, don't blame others, just do the right thing, came up over and over and over. And people would say, you know, I'm not sure if I can put my finger on anything more than we just every day try and do the right thing. So having heard that, and having from our employees, and having heard the results of many, many types of research from consumers, we thought putting the two together would probably work, and that there'd probably be a good connection there that was relevant to people and relevant to an insurance company. This is not about a public service campaign or being a do-gooder. We like responsible people. We like responsible people because they make great customers. On the consumer side, they're the people who take care of their homes and drive safely. They're people who do the little things that ensure their own safety and security. They lock their house and their car doors. They change the batteries in their smoke alarms. They fasten their seat belts. In the business world, they're the people who make sure that grapes don't fall on the floor in their grocery store so that people don't slip and fall, and that their workers feel assured of coming to work in a safe environment. So these are really good customers for us, and we believe that relating to them along a value that they hold dearly will just make more of them want to do business with us.